But the most important discrepancy I want to talk about here is being able to track the relative success of both list sources and the individual targeting of those lists and purchasing of those lists. Because a lot of time what happens, you can get, you're doing a lot of list purchasing as an example, and you can't tell what sources you should continue to buy from besides anecdotal evidence of maybe one person had positive conversation with sales. Really what we need is a conversion rate of the relative quality from list source A versus list source B, and then within list source B, subset of targeting approach 1, targeting approach 2, targeting approach 3, things like that. So what we do is we have members 1, which is all the persons who are on the list, and then what we want to do is I end up calling a success basically anyone who's on this list who has ever interacted with us in any way. And the way that we do that is by using the module of behavior score. So if you visit a web page, if you interact with an email, if you sales call, anything like that, then your behavior score is going to change. And the other thing is, if you don't do anything, then your behavior score will stay 0 or become less than 0 if you have decay scoring as well. So this is what the actual smart campaign looks like. You're looking at member of the list and your scores change for your behavior score. This is how we name it. You'd use your own, obviously. And the new score is greater than 0. And what this does, it'll just change their program status to on list and flow through once. So basically all that this does, this is a nice condensed way where you can standardize these things, and then you can see really, usually what you see is list acquisition is kind of an abysmal source of leads, and this is a way to prove that over time. Not only that this is an abysmal source of leads, even though we can get them for 5 cents per, but 1 out of 2,000 actually engages with us in the absolute most minimum way, which is behavior score becoming more than 0. And so this is kind of a tool in an arsenal when you can say that this source we need to stop buying leads from this specific source because it brings us nothing. And you might see some interesting discrepancies. So even if list source A is 5 cents per and list source B is 50 cents per, you can say source A never interacts and we have an abysmal conversion rate of people who engage further, versus this other one is more expensive, but the cost per qualified lead is much cheaper and this kind of gives you the ability to have that cost per qualified lead in the process. And then finally here,